Hello students, we'll do the last part of the second chapter, that is the seed. The seed, which is the final product of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. An ovule undergoes a series of changes after fertilization, as a result of which the seed is formed. The two integuments develop into seed coats. The egg cell grows into the embryo. The endosperm nucleus gives rise to the endosperm. So, a seed can be defined as a mature fertilized ovule that possesses an embryo and stored food materials in the endosperm or in the cotyledon and a protective seed coat. Now the seeds are of two types depending on the presence or absence of endosperm. The first kind is the endospermic or albuminous seed. These seeds contain endosperm with the stored food, but the cotyledons are small and thin, and the endosperm formed is not completely used by the embryo. The endosperm supports the growth of the embryo during its germination. Examples are cereals like rice, maize, coconut, castor bean. Now the second type is non-endospermic or ex-albuminous seeds. They do not contain endosperm, as it gets used by the developing embryo. The food is stored in the cotyledons, which are thick and fleshy. The cotyledons provide food to the developing embryo during the seed germination. Examples are the pulses. Now, depending on the number of cotyledons, there are two kinds of seeds, the dicotyledonous seeds and the monocotyledonous seeds. The dicotyledonous seeds, they do have two cotyledons. Examples are the pulses. And the monocotyledonous seeds, they have only one cotyledon. Examples are the cereals. In seeds like the black pepper, beet, the remnants of the nucellus are also persistent. This unused nucellus is called the perisperm. The integuments of the ovule harden and form the seed coat. The micropyle remains a small pore in the seed coat, facilitating the entry of oxygen and water during the germination of the seed. As the seed matures, its water content is reduced to nearby 10 to 15%, so the seeds become dry. The metabolic activity slows down. The embryo enters into a state of inactivity called the dormancy. When necessary favorable conditions are available, the embryo resumes its metabolic activities and the seed germination occurs. Now about the formation of fruit. After fertilization, the ovary begins to grow and develop into the fruit. So fruit is the mature ovary, and a fruit has two parts. The ovary wall develops into the pericarp and the ovules develop into the seed. The pericarp differentiates into three parts: the epicarp, mesocarp, and the endocarp. The epicarp forms the outer skin of the fruit. The mesocarp forms the edible fleshy region, and the endocarp forms the innermost hard region that encloses the seed. The fruits may be fleshy, as in guava, orange, mango, or may be dry, like the groundnut, mustard. Many fruits have developed dispersal mechanisms. When the fruit is developed from the ovary, it is called as a true fruit. As the fruit develops from the ovary, other floral parts dry and fall off in most plants. But in a few species of plants, the thalamus also becomes part of the fruit. Such fruits are called as false fruit. Example is strawberry, cashew, apple. In a few species of plants, the fruits are formed without fertilization. Means the fruits can be developed from the ovary without fertilization. Such fruits are called as parthenocarpic fruits, mostly seedless fruits. Example, banana. So, parthenocarpy can be induced by the application of growth hormones. For example, tomato, cucumber. It may occur naturally in case of pineapple, grapes, apples. Now we see the advantages of seeds to angiosperms. Seeds have better adaptive strategies for the dispersal to new habitats, hence help the species to reach faraway regions. As the seeds have sufficient food reserves, young seedling can be nourished till they do the photosynthesis. Hard seed coat provides protection to the embryo. Seeds bring about new genetic combinations leading to variations in plants. Now, the dormancy of seeds. Seed dormancy is the resting state in which the metabolic activity of the seed is highly reduced. After the dormancy period is over, if the favorable conditions are present, the dormant embryo resumes its metabolic activities and the seed germination takes place. Dehydration and dormancy are crucial for the seed storage. The viability of seeds vary greatly in different plants. Some seeds lose viability within few months. Many seeds live for many years. The oldest viable seed is lupine, was excavated from the Arctic tundra. The seed germinated and flowered after 10,000 years of dormancy. Then another one, date palm, Phoenix dactylifera, was discovered during the excavation at King Herod's palace near Dead Sea. That was 2000 years old viable seed. Now the last topic is apomixis. Though most plants show vegetative and sexual reproduction, some plants show different kind of reproduction, that is some special mode of reproduction, which is called as the apomixis. And in apomixis, seeds are formed without the fusion of gametes. It occurs in some flowering plants where the diploid cell of the ovule, that is either from the nucellus or the megaspore, develops into the embryo. The diploid egg cell is formed without the reduction division of the megaspore. So it is called generative apospory, and this you can see in case of grasses. In plants like citrus, mango, some of the cells of the nucellus surrounding the embryo sac start dividing and they develop into the embryo, which is called somatic apomixy. The ovule may contain many embryos. In apomixis, the seeds formed are genetically identical to the mother plant. There may be the presence of many embryos in the same seed, which is called as polyembryony. And it may be due to the presence of more than one egg cell in the embryo sac or more than one embryo sac in the ovule. A number of embryos may be formed simultaneously from different parts of an ovule, like the synergids and the antipodal cells becoming the embryos. The number of embryos may be developed from the tissues of nucellus and the integuments. This polyembryony is very common in gymnosperms. It is seen in onion, groundnut, lemon, oranges. Thank you.